Hello, my name is Jeff Jamilo, and today I'm going to talk about lost souls. What's interesting about lost souls are every soul has a plan. Either it's a godly plan or it's a kind of a devilish plan. Either way, they follow a scripted plan. But a lost soul does not. It is, I guess you could say, went rogue. Totally rogue. To where actually it can go, it doesn't have to do either one of the two. Problem is they usually cause a lot of chaos in life, whether it be causing turmoil in the world, because you're not following either one. You can almost call it chaotic, but chaotic is usually a word we associate with negativity, but chaos is just the absence of order. Like a plan would have order. I do what God says, or I'm doing contrary to what God says. If you get your father either way, you're on a plan. These people are not on a plan. Generally, there's very little recourse for a lost soul. A lost soul can only be recycled. Once it gets caught, it can only be recycled and destroyed because it has no ability to learn at that point. It doesn't want to. It wants to do whatever it wants to do. It sounds creepy to say that a soul learns, but that's what all souls are here to learn. Whether you go on the good side or the bad side. If I remember correctly, in the spiritual world, they call it service to self and service to others. Your service to self means you're obviously selfish. You're selfish like 90% of the time. Service to others is like 60% of the time your service to others. I really don't understand why there's a difference in percentages, because it kind of seems weird, but it means for you to be selfish, you really have to try. I think it's the way it works. But generally, right now, the Lord wants everyone to take a side. Are you going to follow Him, or are you going to follow the dark forces? And that's really up to you. It's your reward, it's your lesson or your blessing. It's up to you. To my knowledge, a soul cannot be recovered once it's lost. It's almost like once it loses discipline, it cannot come back. It's gone. There's some talk in the spiritual realms that there's other realms that deal with souls. And it's not necessarily, human. We all look at life as everything's human, but pets have souls. I'd even venture to say even plants have souls. But it's not really my business to learn about souls, other than lost souls, karma. As a soul goes through its learning process, karma, good or bad, kicks in. Good karma, which I usually call dharma, because there's a negative stereotype on karma. But positive karma is if you do the right thing. You get reinforced, you get a pat on the back. Hey, yeah, you did a good job. From the universe and from God. Bad karma is, well, you didn't do so good and you need to pay the price for that. Literally, you can recover from that, but there's some that just keep going down the route of far more negative. Like, they're bent to go to hell. It's just, or go down and see what the dark side is like. They figure their life can't be any worse. I go, yeah, but I was reminded a while ago. I heard a reading and I laughed at it because it actually said there's things worse than death, and there is. And there's things worse than hell, by the way. Because after you die, for a punishment for a while, you go to hell for a while to see what it's like. And if you really, your 3 strikes you're out, or 5 strikes, whatever number it is, when your soul has had the amount of strikes that God says you're not reformable anymore, you're not teachable, it's the wood chipper. And you can think of a wood chipper as think of you as a branch, your soul as a branch. You throw it in there, you're amongst other branches that have been chewed up. And now at this point, they can make a new soul, but it's not all the same pieces, not the same recipe. I mean, uniqueness is gone. Poof. And I guess what's really weird is if you think about, like, I think they call it natural selection or evolution. That is actually the evolution of your soul. In a way, evolution does match what the soul does, just not what humans do. As far as human beings and growth that way, random growth. So, in a way, maybe there's some truth to evolution, because a soul gets recombined and gets a new set of capabilities. And the powers that be, the source, the universe, could give you more or give you less, depending on your past lives. But I just want to talk briefly about lost souls. You hear that a lot in ghosts. There's lost souls. They're just roaming around. It's because they really have no place to go. It's, if you don't have a soul, you don't have a job, so to speak. And if you don't have a job, what are you supposed to be doing? You can also think about it. Demons too are like that. They're without a soul. I don't think they sold their soul. Well, maybe they did. A lot of people sell their souls too, and that's always a fun thing. Even though I really don't think they own their soul, but if you sell your soul, quote, sell your soul enough, it literally means you're not learning anything and you don't want to learn, and wood chipper it is. I make haste of it by calling it the wood chipper, but I don't know what to call it. It's a machine that chews up its souls. Like I said, it's souls that don't follow a plan. And really just want to reinforce the Lord wants everyone to pick a side. Are you going to be on the side of good? Are you going to be on, I wouldn't say good and bad. Are you going to be service to self or service to others? The new world, the new earth is actually all service to others. Very little service to self. And following the criteria of service to self is 90% service to self, selfish. But if you look at service to others, it's 60% servicing others, 40% yourself. It seems like a much better ratio I'd rather have in the world than we have now. But a lot of people will be displaced and moved, whether physically or energetically, or oopsie, things happen in the universe and, karma takes its course, or events just happen in the world. Generally, all souls return back. Some get destroyed, so that others can be rebirthed. I said, right now is a great time in the universe because everyone wants to see what's going to happen now. Souls from all over the galaxy are coming to visit because they are curious, because they've never seen their systems go through what we're going to go through. So they're anxious. Can't blame them. I would be too. If I was a galactic wanderer, interdimensional wanderer, I would definitely want to see what goes on here, because I wasn't around for ours, that kind of thing. And a lot of people are trying to help, because they want all of us to make it. God wants us to make it. That's why God tests us all the time. God wants us to be the best person we can be. We are. But I just want to touch on lost souls, because it was brought to my, I happen to pop in my head about lost souls, and people don't actually know what they are. And they said souls are souls that either literally they sold their soul to the devil and they're dead. They're gone. They sold it too many times, because in human form or in physical form, you can't actually sell your soul. You just make an agreement to sell your soul. And God could easily just snap his fingers and that paperwork's gone. It's the way it is. But when you sell it a couple too many times, it's almost like you're not taking it seriously, or you don't want to learn anything. As a soul, if you don't want to learn anything, you get brought back to the woodshed and got a little spanking. Or you continue to do it, you're considered malformed, I guess. as a soul. There's no improvement. You can do no improvement. So the only act of mercy that the Lord can do is actually just to destroy it. But I'm sorry, that's a dark topic. But welcome to Lost Souls. Thank you for listening.